Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic. We're talking Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. As you guys know, Sunday night, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry did a bombshell interview with Queen Oprah. We love Oprah. She's amazing. She's like the original truth serum. If Oprah asks you a question, you just have to answer. You're like, she asked all the right questions, all the right follow-ups, really did a great job of talking to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle about their departure from the royal family. Now look, come on, I live in Los Angeles. What do I care about the royal family? How does it affect us? We got a real beef going on. We got some British some British celebrity commentators weighing in on it. Not everyone's believing Meghan Markle's side of the story. Here's what's important to know. Whenever you're wondering, should you believe someone? Like, what's in this for them? Meghan Markle has nothing to gain from sharing her story about suicidal thoughts that she had. Mental health stigmas are unfortunately just it's such a taboo to even speak about, that so many people don't get the help that they need, and even when they're looking for help, they're denied it. Meghan Markle had mentioned that while she was pregnant with their first child, she was couldn't think of a way out. She couldn't find a way out from her problems and was having those dark suicidal thoughts. And Prince Harry, kind of doing what he had to do as a husband and father, got them out of that situation, got them out of a situation that was so toxic between the tabloids, the royal family sort of covering their own butts, not sort of helping them out where they needed it. They got out. They moved to Canada and then eventually to California. So they live out here in California now. And this story they weren't receiving any compensation for. And it was very, like I said, you hear the term bombshell story said too often, but this is about as bombshell it's going to get. Probably one of the biggest interviews as far as salacious gossip and drama goes within the royal family. Now, if they weren't such targets, it might be a different story here, but because of, Harry was born into the royal family. He requires security. When they were children, Prince Harry and Prince William had to fly on separate planes. God forbid one goes down. It's a very big deal, this 1,200-year-old church that they have over there, whatever the royal family is, they're this charitable organization. I call them pro-Scientology. We've got little Scientology. The royal family, that's pro-Scientology. They're in there just drinking the Kool-Aid, doing their thing. And anyway, so Piers Morgan actually quit his job, walked off a set after just getting really railed by this other journalist right here. I mean, he railed Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan said, "I don't believe Meghan Markle. He was basically calling her a liar." If you're going to say that you don't believe someone when they're saying they had suicidal thoughts, you don't believe their story, then if you don't believe them, you're calling them a liar. So he's saying that Meghan Markle lied about having suicidal thoughts. And what was the motive? To get Prince Harry to move them out of the, what's the grand scheme of things? Is she doesn't need the money. She doesn't need the fame. She doesn't need any of this. She's just a mom trying to protect her family, and Prince Harry's doing the same. So I'll show you some very interesting parts about why Piers Morgan rails so hard against Meghan Markle in this interview, which has made the rounds. I pulled it off of Liz Plank's TikTok. Good buddy over there, Liz Plank. In this interview, you can see how jaded Piers Morgan is. This is from several years ago. He actually says he went on a date with Meghan Markle, and she kind of stood him up. So listen to this quick clip, and then we'll show you him walking off set in either getting fired or quitting at this point. Who really knows?
Martinis and a couple of pints. We got on brilliantly. And then I put her in a cab, and it turned out to be a cab that took her to a party where she met Prince Harry. And then the next night they had a solo dinner together, and that was the last I ever heard from Meghan Markle. And I have never heard from her again.
So what happened?
She ghosted me, Ryan. Meghan Markle ghosted me.
Did she? Do you think she just went, gone?
I'm afraid. Look, I really liked it. This is why it hurts. No.
Listen, that's not exactly getting ghosted on. If we want to get specific, she just didn't want to see you again. You went on a date where you had a few drinks. That's not ghosting. But again, I digress. So, if you're gonna be like a journalist, if you're gonna be reporting on things, when you bring your own opinion into it, now obviously there's a difference between journalism reporting the facts versus opinionated news, which most of our news or news, whatever you want to call it, in today's world, it's just people giving their opinions on things. We love the Fox News Tucker Carlson, but that's not the truth. And it really isn't, because, to bring Tucker Carlson into it, he was sued by somebody. I don't have the story right off the top of my head, just some junkie comic over here. But they claimed that they weren't, they didn't have to spout the facts because they were just entertainment. And the morning TV's entertainment. I'm going to show Sharon Osbourne. It's just entertainment. It's just opinion. But here you have this journalist railing hard onto Piers Morgan, not accepting, just because they're coworkers. Too often you see these just like, makeup, the white teeth, they go in there and they just and they have these stupid conversations. For this journalist or commentator, whatever you want to call him, to come up there and like much respect from 8,000 miles away, much respect to this guy. Watch this.
And she cut you off. She's entitled to cut you off if she wants to. Has she said anything about you since she cut you off? I don't think she has, but yet you continue to trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
There he goes.
Sorry.
There he is.
You can trash me, maybe not my
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do this.
Absolutely diabolical behavior.
How polite of Piers Morgan. Sorry, can't do this. Gotta go. Gotta go to afternoon tea. A little spot tea with some honey. Gotta go. Thank you very much. Cheerio. Done with this. New job. I quit. Very out. HR, don't think so. What's funny is Piers Morgan was mad at Meghan Markle for ghosting him, and here he is, literally a ghost, just vanishing away. Hey, what can you do? He can dish it, but apparently he can't take it. Very fascinating stuff. So this is all, today's Thursday, right? So this started on Sunday night with the Meghan Markle story. He says, I don't believe it. They call him out after that, and then he doubles down. And you know what? Everyone has a right to their own opinion, but you got to look at someone's opinion and go, dude, do you not like her because she ghosted you? Is that what this is? Look, I'm not one of those people that's like the toxic male ego. I think all ego is toxic, but the fragility of Piers Morgan here to be like, oh, very well, must go. It's like, look, maybe don't have an opinion on Meghan Markle saying she was suicidal. If you got ghosted by Meghan Markle, maybe there's a conflict of interest there, buddy Piers. Maybe you should take a long walk off a short pier. Maybe you could do that. That's a stupid joke. Hope you can go swimming. So here he is, and he just says, on Monday, I said I didn't believe Meghan Markle in her Oprah interview. I've had time to reflect on this opinion, and I still don't. If you did, okay. Freedom of speech is a hill I'm happy to die on. Thanks for all the love and hate. I'm off to spend more time with my opinions. Look, here's the deal, guys. It's not a freedom, like you have the freedom of speech, but to bring in more context and go, why haven't you liked her for so long, Piers? Why haven't you liked this biracial actress that married into the royal family? Do you just not like her? Has she ruffled too many feathers? What is it, Piers? Oh, you went on a date with her and you don't like her then. So she was good enough to spend time with you on a date, but now she's not good enough when she claims she's suicidal because why? What part of it don't you believe there, Piers? He says, I understand that you don't like Meghan Markle. Oh, this is what his co-star is named Alex Beresford. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Sorry, don't follow the British morning news, but good for you guys. He says, the co-star says, I understand that you don't like Meghan Markle. You've made it so clear a number of times in this program, and I understand that you had a personal relationship with Meghan Markle, and she cut you off. I mean, he really went in for it. This was a real sabotage moment, and you got to wonder if Piers didn't walk off, what would have happened? He was just going to keep on going on him. It was a real, I'm here for it. As far, I'm a coffee guy. I don't really drink tea, but warm up some tea for me right now. I'll be drinking that British shit with my little finger up there. He's responding to Monday's show when Piers questioned whether the Duchess of Sussex, as Meghan Markle, was honest about having suicidal thoughts amongst other issues raised in the interview. So he said he was ghosted by Markle after they became friends in 2015, started by following each other on Twitter. In 2016, they met for drinks when she was in London and then went out on a date with the man who would become her husband. So, I mean, does it count as a date if you went out for drinks? Like, do you think Meghan Markle thought she was going on a date, or do you think she was just being friendly to a very powerful journalist? I don't know. This is where it gets kind of complicated. It must be I truly mean this. It must be very challenging being a woman because, my fiance tells me this all the time, like 1 second you think you're going on a business meeting and next thing you know, the other guy thinks it's a date. It's like the lines are blurred in these types of industries. So I doubt she thinks she was on a date with Piers Morgan if she's going to, meet the prince of, England, whatever his title is. So anyway, as his former TV gig, the network said in a statement that Morgan decided now is the time to leave Good Morning Britain. So what a great time to leave. Just walked right on out. That's it. Cheerio. Gotta go. Time for some tape. So this is slightly different news here. Actually, you know what? I'll play that after. Let's go to Sharon Osbourne's statement. Of course, we got to know what all the British celebrities think about this.
Because I supported my friend with his freedom of speech and his opinions on what he felt about the interview of Meghan and Harry, I know he has a right to say what he feels on the interview, as we have a right to say, and everybody has a right to say what they feel with freedom of speech. Did I like everything he said? Did I agree with what he said? No. I feel even like I'm about to be put in the electric chair because I have a friend who many people think is a racist, so that makes me a racist. And for me, at 68 years of age, to have to turn around and say, I ain't racist. What's it got to do with me?
But I want you to hear
And
from
then
me.
she's about to get leveled. Look, here's the deal. You don't have to stick up for your friends on every given moment. A lot of people hide behind freedom of speech. You have the freedom and entitlement to your opinions, but it doesn't mean you have the freedom that you're not going to be pushed back by people. Now, does Piers Morgan, does him not believing Meghan Markle have to do with race? I have no idea. Leave a comment and let me know what you guys think. At the very least, it has to do with a guy who's scorned, for sure. You know what I mean? So anyway, because of these conversations, Prince Harry, by saying that there was racial questions, if not racist questions, asked about their child's skin color, he said it wasn't the Queen, and I believe he said it wasn't his dad, so everyone's wondering who said it. So people are assuming it was his brother, Prince William, who said it. So this was the first statement that I heard of from Prince Harry's brother, Prince William.
Sir, have you spoken to your brother since the interview?
No, I haven't spoken yet, but I will do.
And can you just let me know, is the royal family a racist family, sir?
We're very much not a racist family.
Very much not a racist family. Well, there you have it, folks. Conversation's done. It's over. We're all set. They're not a racist. Listen, it's got to be very complicated. I'm not here to talk about the history of it all because I'm from Rhode Island. I'm from one of the original 13 colonies. And let me tell you something. When you're from one of the original colonies, we're like the hipsters of the U.S. We left the English, but we left there before it was popular to leave. Puritans, we're on the boat. Pilgrims, pack an extra lunch. Plymouth Rock, here we come. Sure, it's going to be cold in the winter. Sure, we're going to spread crazy amounts of disease. But we are going to try our best to not have to remember anything about the royal family. Okay, so listen, it's complicated, guys. Is the royal family racist? Can you just call them blanketly racist? Well, let's look at the actions, right? The UK, they basically colonized the better part of the world. You know what I mean? As other people have posted, they made Indians now play cricket because of the British family. Like the royals gave us so many things that we now have. I'm from New England. We have New Hampshire. And everything in the U.S. is new them. You know what I mean? We don't even think of New Brunswick, New Alaska, whatever. I don't know. So anyway, folks, it's complicated, but obviously as, it's very interesting as, being from the U.S. in this dumpster fire of politics that we have. It's nice just to watch some issues unravel in the UK for once. It's like when you're the problem child and then your sister gets a DUI and you're like, okay, cool. The heat's off me for a few minutes. All right, guys, let me know what you think. And obviously, if we can learn anything from this situation, it's that we should believe people when they come out with problems that they have. We should understand that if there's anyone in our life that is screaming for help, that we are there to listen and try to take care of our tribes. Because the last thing we need is for people to look at Meghan Markle and say, you know what? Look what happened when she tried to get help. It didn't go well. You know what I mean? So let's try our best to kind of cut down the stigma of, people of mental health problems and understand that everyone's trying the best with the information they have. And a lot of times what's going on in the head is a lot worse than what happens when we seek help. Unfortunately for Meghan Markle, she wasn't able to get the help she needed from the royal family, but she was able to get it from her husband, Prince Harry. They got out. They said they're in a happy place, and that's good enough for me. It is a start. But anyways, like I said, leave a comment, hit the like button if you enjoy the Meghan Markle, Prince Harry discussion. Like I said, I know I say this a lot, but it is Very, very fascinating stuff. We're watching history unfold. This is a chapter in the history books for the British royal family and whatever the Scientology cult that they're in. I mean, look, yeah, no, don't get me wrong. They do good. Sure, absolutely. But at the same time, it's like, I don't even, you look at Prince William and you go, that's like our Tom Cruise. It's like, do we even understand what the real world is? You know what I mean? I don't know. All right, leave a comment. 4 p.m. I'll be doing my live stream. See you guys then.